Good luck, man. The Dolans are notorious idiots. So hopefully he
I mean,
doesn't get shafted, you know.
Can't be any worse when he was in with the Nets. So, hey, man.
He's been everywhere.
Cleveland.
Yeah, he's had some rough luck. Like, he's had some bad luck with ownership, you know.
Basketball free agency is happening, boys. And
that's right.
It looks like someone got paid. I think a few people got paid.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander gets the richest average annual value deal in NBA history. It's a 4-year, $285 million supermax. So congratulations. You get the MVP. You win a chip. You get the finals MVP too. And you get a pretty penny to do it too. So congrats to him. Obviously, they're breaking off a chunk of change for him, and well deserved, I think, at this point. You know, who's going to argue with that at this point, right? I don't know if there's any debate like with that. I mean, yeah.
I mean, we knew he was going to get paid. It was just a matter of how much, right? So
right, exactly. And
season
they decided,
MVP, you know, finals MVP, well deserved.
Yeah, exactly. Myles Turner's going. He just lost in the finals. He goes to Milwaukee, 4 years, $107 million. Paolo Banchero, 5-year rookie extension, just came in earlier today. Actually, $239 million. Is that right? Oh,
that is right, and he could get up to 287 with the incentives.
Jesus,
sweet loot. Oh my goodness. Damian Lillard.
It's all fantasy money at this point.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, they're
not even real.
They're just numbers on a calculator at this point. Yeah, for real. Damian Lillard got waived by Milwaukee to make room for Myles Turner's contract, and they're going to stretch his remaining salary over 5 seasons. Denver is acquiring Jonas Valanciunas from Sacramento for Dario Saric.
That was drama-filled. So Jonas Valanciunas' agent was under the impression that the Denver Nuggets were going to just release him amongst the trade, and that his agent had already agreed with a Eastern European basketball club that Jonas was going to go play for them. And Denver said, well, we didn't know about that one, so we're not going to let him go. We need a backup center. So now it's a drama-filled situation between, are they going to keep Jonas? Are they going to let go of Jonas? Is he going to play for Denver? Is he not going to play for Denver? It's a whole thing now.
Yeah, so they still got to sort that out. So the Kevin Durant deal is officially completed, and it took a record 7 teams to make it official. So Shams has he had it first, I believe, and is the entire breakdown. So here's what Phoenix gets: Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, Common Malach, is that Rasheer Fleming, Kobe Brea, Daquan Plowden in the second. Houston gets Kevin Durant and Clint Capella. Brooklyn gets 2 seconds. The Warriors get Alex Tui and Jameer Mashak. Atlanta gets a second-round swap and Devin Roddy and Cash. The Lakers get Adu Tiero, and Minnesota gets Rocco Zikarsky, 2 seconds and a cash. So, like, a lot of names I don't really know how to say because I haven't heard of half of these guys, but some of them I have heard of. Just like, you know, a lot of like lower end guys to make the money work, I think, and just like getting 7 teams involved just to make basically Kevin Durant to Houston work out. Oh man,
I think this is going to be the norm, though. I mean, this is what the commissioner wanted. When you make a complicated second apron, max salary cap, luxury tax, all this stuff, this is what you're going to get. You're going to get trades and people go, what happened to the days of just trading a guy for, you know, another guy or cash consideration? You know what I mean?
Yeah. You got to have a trigonometry and like a calculus degree to like break it down, man. At this point, almost it's psychotic almost at this point. It's wild, pure. Yeah. Anyway, so there's your Kevin Durant breakdown. It's finished. What else is finished? The New York Knicks head coaching search. it's not Don Staley. It ends up being Mike Brown. He's going to be the new head coach. Good luck, man. The Dolans are notorious idiots. So hopefully he doesn't get shafted, you know.
Can't be any worse when he was in with the Nets. So, hey, man.
He's been everywhere.
Cleveland.
Yeah, he's had some rough luck. Like, he's had some bad luck with ownership, you know.
Well, the Sacramento thing, he never should have been fired from Sacramento.
Exactly. Yeah.
So...
Yeah, Sacramento, that guy, like, he was able to get that building built, but other than that, he's been an idiot. I mean,
yeah.
God. Anyway, the Pacers did confirm actually earlier today, I believe, that Tyrese Halliburton is going to miss all of next season, recovering from the Achilles tear sustained in the NBA Finals. That's unfortunate, but unexpected. I mean, that is expected. Unfortunate. Yeah. It's an Achilles, man. They take forever to heal. And
unfortunately,
who knows how he's gonna look when he comes back as well.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that's on his side is that he's younger than, let's say, Klay Thompson is our example, right? Younger than a Kobe Bryant is our example. So, can he rebound back? I don't know if he'll ever be the exact same player, but he probably has a better chance than some of the other guys I mentioned as our examples here, unfortunately. But
yeah. Okay, and then another trade that came in today, Miami get Norman Powell from the Clippers in a 3-team trade. Utah is sending John Collins to the Clippers. Utah is getting Kevin Love, Kyle Anderson, and the Clippers 2027 second-round pick. Okay, so there is your free agent update, and what's that? I think Tyler wants to play a game.
I do. We're going to play a game called Fire or Smoke. You boys tell me. And Vince, I'm going to let you go first. Sam will let you go second, just to keep things in order here. I'm just going to rattle out 4 things. Be quick here about this one. You just tell me if it's smoke or fire and give me a reason why. All right, we're going to fire this off. Al Horford will be a Warrior.
Smoke, because I don't think the Warriors have any room to make the money work right now.
They could sign to a vet minimum. So before I continue,
I don't know. I think other teams will be able to give a little more than a vet minimum, and I think that's how it ends up. You know, if the Warriors can only offer vet minimum, then other teams will just swoop in and offer slightly more, and then there you go.
Sure. What you got?
That's why. Yeah.
I'm gonna say smoke, but mostly because I'm not sure if I want that to happen. Like it just really doesn't excite me to the point where, like, I think that puts the Warriors in seeds 1 through 4, 1 through 5, let's say. I think if they do make the deal, I guess that's a good signing because you need somebody, but it just doesn't really get me all that excited, to be honest.
Well, unfortunately, the Lakers were in contention. Now that they've signed DeAndre Ayton, it sounds like they probably are out of contention. It sounds like the Denver Nuggets, should the Jonas Valanciunas thing fall apart, they may start making phone calls to Al Horford. But as it stands, Al Horford is in between being a Warrior or retirement. And that sucks if you're a Warriors fan.
Okay.
Next one here. Bradley Beal will be a Warrior. Sam, you go first on this one.
I'm going to say that's smoke. I think the odds of that happening is a lot higher than Al Horford, because if he does get bought out, I think the Warriors would be desperate enough to get him into the building, because you just need something. You need someone and I think they would be desperate enough to see if that would work. And then I would think the Warriors would say, we got Jimmy Butler, we got Draymond. I think we can motivate this guy to not be a sack of potatoes that he's been in Phoenix. So I think that one definitely has legs. That one has some serious smoke, I'll say.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the buyout is almost certainly going to happen. I think at this point, like that's the writing is on the wall there too. I think so. Like that's going to happen. I think, and now it's just a question of where does he go after the fact. Yeah. So if the Warriors figure out the Kuminga situation, then maybe that's the path forward to make Bradley Beal happen. So I guess I'll go fire on that. I think that's how you make that happen. Is solving the Kuminga situation there. Okay.
Next one here. It's funny you say that. Kuminga will be traded.
Fire.
Fire. Yeah, fire. I think that's happening. Yeah. I think Kuminga, they're going to get something for him. So yeah, fire. Okay.
So the teams in contention are the Nets, Miami, and Sacramento. Sacramento's the biggest one, but it sounds like they are very far off from a deal that interests the Warriors in any way, shape, or form. Last one for you guys.
Okay.
Damian Lillard will be a Warrior.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go smoke on that one. At least, definitely not for this coming season. It won't happen this year because he's recovering from an Achilles tear, so he's not going to play for anybody this year. Let's see how his rehab is going, and then maybe revisit the question in a year from now. How's that?
It's great.
Yeah. I'm gonna say smoke. Similar reasons to Vince, but I think if you try to sign him now, you're probably trying to sign him to like a 2-year deal. That way you're guaranteed that you get 1 year next year. And then, if it's going well, you got 2 years of seeing his rehab, right? And you kind of know where he's at. That's too much of an uncertainty for me to like put that into fire. It would be sweet if he did come over to Golden State and in that second year he balls out, just for the hometown, being that he grew up a Warriors fan. That would be great, but that is nothing but smoke, man. I don't think that's going to happen. You need a player right now, not next year.
I agree. Running down the line, Al Horford will be a Warrior. I actually think that there's fire with that one. In my opinion, I think he will be. Warriors need a center. You lost Looney. You lost our little big man in GP2. Your centers are basically Trace, who got 0 play time this year, considered to the year previously, and Quentin Post, who, while he's looked great in flashes, didn't get a single minute in the playoffs because of his size, as far as bulk wise. So I think there's a lot of fire to that. Bradley Beal being a Warrior, I think absolutely not. I think what he's going to demand for just doesn't make any sense. I think the Clippers are more likely to do that than anybody else. Dame being a Warrior, gosh, I really don't like the idea of it because he's coming off of that injury. But I will say that if you could get him on a 2-year and backload that contract, so the first year you don't really pay anything while he's just rehabbing, and then the second year you pay, I might be a little bit more interested, because maybe that time in the second year you've already moved off of Kuminga and maybe some other contracts at that point in time. Who knows?
Milwaukee's basically paying him anyway. You just vet min him,
right?
You can vet min him for whatever anyway, basically.
Yeah. Kuminga being traded, man. If Sacramento can get closer, Malik Monk doesn't get it over the finish line for me. That's what I'm hearing is the finish line, and that's not going to happen. But it would be really funny to see Sabonis and Draymond Green on the same team, just for the standpoint of the amount of drama that's going to probably ensue just from that being happening. But I'm going to go fire on Kuminga, smoke on Dame, smoke on Bradley, and fire on Al on my opinion here. And that is the game of smoke and fire.
Okay, hey, guess what, guys? I want to play a game. Oh, okay. So this is actually also Warriors related. I've got a couple of scenarios here, a couple of what ifs. All right, and these are things that did not happen, but wish would have happened. And it was actually something I saw on Instagram, and it's just one of those. What do you want to have happened? It's like, here are your options. What do you want to have happened? The Warriors win in 2016. The Warriors hit on that number 2 pick in 2020. Steph wins the 2015 Finals MVP, or Klay Thompson never gets injured. If those are all pills that you take, which pill are you taking? You know,
honestly, as much as I would not want Klay to be hurt, because I feel like there's just so much that got robbed from him. I think the Warriors winning that championship and Draymond not getting suspended. I mean, we're talking 5 rings. You know what I'm saying? With the same players.
Are you sure? Are you sure though? Because if we win in 2016, does KD doesn't come here?
That's the what if scenario.
You know,
Maybe he still does.
That's part of the what if. I think it's an interesting discussion. Do we win in 2017? Does OKC come back and like what happens there with OKC? You know.
Yeah, but I think the scenario
does KD go back there. You know, does he go somewhere else? You know,
I still think they go to Hamptons and convince him, no matter what. I think that was always going to happen. It just.
I mean, I've he's. I seem to remember him saying, like, on the record, if the Warriors had won that championship, he wasn't going to sign with us. I remember hearing the same thing. That.
I agree, but who knows what the conversation was because they flew out there directly to convince him, right? I've never seen that happen, ever. Maybe LeBron convincing Bosch to come with them and be that third, Ringo Starr member, but it was kind of. It's nothing I've ever really seen before. I've never seen a whole team fly out to go convince a guy.
Okay. Sam, what are you choosing? Again, it's the Warriors win in 2016, hitting on that number 2 pick in 2020, Steph winning the Finals MVP in 2015, or Klay Thompson doesn't get injured.
Well, I would have to go with Klay, man. Klay not getting hurt, because if Klay doesn't get hurt, you're not looking for another scorer or a defender. You have a two-way player.
Mm-hmm.
And that solved, like, especially on the perimeter, when he was healthy, he took out their best scoring option. And then you had Draymond taking out the scoring option on the inside. So I just think it makes the Warriors so much better when you had Klay as the scorer, the shooter, potentially when it was all said and done, the second best shooter only behind his teammate Steph Curry.
Yeah.
Right. To have those two guys, and then the defense.
Yeah.
Like the two-way play in today's game of basketball. I think right now, if Klay never got hurt and you still have Curry and that's healthy, you got Klay, Steph, and Draymond still healthy going in right now, and somehow you're still able to add Jimmy Butler. This team is with Klay Thompson, what he was. That's I don't know if it's a championship contender, but it's a team that's in the top 3 or 4. You're in the mix.
Yeah, I'm. The more I thought about it, it comes down to just looking at the timeline for me. If the Warriors win in 2016, I'm under the belief that KD doesn't come. So 2017, 2018 don't happen, or if they do happen, and they happen very different ways. So you can't guarantee that happens the same way. So that changes everything there. So I'm not taking that. I'll live with the 2016 loss. Steph winning the 2015 MVP Finals MVP. I don't need that to happen. That's fine. So that leaves with me either the Warriors hitting on that 2020 second round pick, or Klay Thompson doesn't get injured, right? So we only have that number 2 pick because Klay Thompson got injured in the finals, and then we sucked the next year because Steph was in and out of the lineup the entire year, and the entire season was basically just lost, right?
Well, what were you going to hit on the draft, right? Because Anthony Edwards was always going to go number 1. That was you were never going to have him. But LaMelo is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't even know what hitting on that means. Like does that mean that? whoever you pick there is a perennial all-star and is still on the team, or do we
James Wiseman's available?
Yeah.
Well, so the pick would have been, if we could redo the pick, I think everyone, including, Joe Lacob, who clearly this Wiseman was his pick, I think everyone would go back and choose Tyrese Halliburton as their pick.
I think so. At this point, yeah, I would agree with that. But yeah. So do the Warriors pick Tyrese Halliburton with the number 2 pick in 2020, or do we get Klay Thompson never getting injured? And for me, I think I lean towards Klay never getting injured, because as you were hinting at there, if Klay doesn't get injured in 2019, they may still win that title in 2019.
That's true.
Because he got injured in that final, right? So if they win that title in 2019, we're talking, 4 out of 5. Right, instead of 3 out of 4 or whatever it was, right? So we're talking 4 out of 5. Then we're talking, we do win it in 2022. There's those 2 years in between, right? 3 years in between even. So like we could win 1 or 2 of those in the middle there as well. So like we're talking 6 titles maybe in 8 years. Like that's Chicago Bulls numbers. Okay, that's Boston Celtics in the with Bill Russell type numbers. That's like that. Those are the kind of numbers we're talking about. 4 and 8 is great, but we're talking greedy. We're talking really greedy type stuff that we could be looking at if Klay Thompson doesn't get injured. At least we'd be in the mix for it, as you had said. So 6 titles, definitely a possibility. Hell, maybe even 7, it's not out of the question that, we the Warriors are doing that. So that was just a fun little thing I saw on Instagram. I thought I'd bring over here. So, thanks for the game, fellas.